After studying this module, you should be able to know about the methodology used by Maslow for self-actualization. Understand the methodology used to assess self-actualization. Learn about measures of self-actualization. Evaluate the empirical research undertaken in self-actualization. Analyze the basic methods of self-actualization devised by other theorists. And learn about Maslow's challenge to other traditional science. Maslow's efforts of actualization of self has not originated by way of a prescribed program of personality assessment as well as exploration. He initiated his exploration as of inquisitiveness around two individuals who fascinated him, who were Ruth Benedict, anthropologist, as well as Max Wertheimer. Maslow respected them significantly as well as craved to comprehend anything which led them to be diverse as of from lot of persons he was in contact with. Subsequently, noticing them cautiously, he determined that these individuals had definite abilities that established them at a distance from the standard people. After which, Maslow then made an effort to evaluate these characteristics in other individuals. He began his research with college students as participants. However, he instituted that merely 1 on 3,000 students may perhaps be designated as self-actualized individuals. Thus, he then made an assumption relating to features of the self-actualizing disposition he had recognized in Benedict as well as Wertheimer were not established in these persons. Therefore, he decided that he would study middle-aged and older research participants to evaluate these characteristics. Nevertheless, Maslow brings into being a smaller amount than 1% of the people adept of gathering his measures regarding actualization even amongst these individuals. Maslow lastly recognized more than a few dozen individuals he selected as definite or plausible cases, partial cases, or prospective cases as self-actualizers, which included some of his generations. Those included were historic individuals such as Thomas Jefferson, Albert Einstein, George Washington, as well as Roosevelt. Maslow used several of the procedures to measure their dispositions. He studied the factual material, investigating transcribed archives for similarities in personal traits for historical figures, whereas in case of the living research participants, he studied them using the method of interviews, free association, and projective techniques. Maslow noticed that a lot of these research accomplices became self-conscious when they were probed, because of which he decided to investigate them through indirect measures, even though he did not give information of in what way this was carried out. Maslow's ways and means for assessing actualization were constant with his beliefs regarding science. He initiated the investigation of actualizing persons with slight proof regarding such a categorization of individuals were even existent. He studied hale and hearty individuals and then came up with characteristics these individuals shared mutually, as well as recognized a condition for inner well-being. Subsequently, he modified the description of self-actualization, considered other individuals, and changed the condition. He kept on following this course of action in anticipation of the time till he was contented that he had a comprehensible definition of self-actualization. Maslow interviewed individuals he was familiar with and admired, in addition to interviewing a sample of individuals he understood were actualized. Subsequently, he came up with the list of qualities he supposed that these individuals had. He would use the attribute list from 1 and then understand in what way A second illustration of actualized persons accorded with the significant qualities. Through filtering his attribute list all over again, he in due course moved towards with anything he sensed was a constant list of characteristics which would explain the self actualized persons.
Maslow's own methodology and the personal orientation inventory. Even though Maslow himself never seemed to look out for any method which used any kind of prescribed format of research, he did use case study method, achieval research, and idiographic approach. Maslow and his wife developed the Maslow art test to assess holism in perception, including intuition as well. This is not reliant on our training but basically ability to identify patterns within abstract works. This is indicative of self-actualization. Nevertheless, his effort has stimulated a number of keen researchers. Many psychological studies have verified his theory and assumptions empirically. For example, Shostrom in 1963 established the Personal Orientation Inventory (POI) as a tool to measure self-actualization, and other researchers have developed personality inventories for measuring self-actualization. An important form of research has been undertaken by means of this instrument. Maslow's thought of peak experience has also generated research. Case studies of self-actualizing persons have confirmed Maslow's theory and also linked self-actualization to the theory of emotional development of Dabrowski's. Measuring self-actualization. The Personal Orientation Inventory (POI), a self-report questionnaire, was originated by psychologist Everett Shostrom to measure self-actualization, and later Shostrom's developed Personal Orientation Dimensions (POD), which also was used to tap dimensions of self-actualization. The test comprises of a 150 pair of forced choice inventory that measures a variety of self-actualization facets. Research participants specify which of each pair is more appropriate to them. The POI is scored for two major scales and 10 subscales. The two key scales are time competence and inner directedness. Time competence refers to the amount to which a person lives in the present, and on the other hand, time incompetent person lives in the past and lives in the future. The second key scale is inner directedness, which assesses how much a person depends on him or her instead of others for judgments and values. In addition to these two key scales, there are 10 subscales that measure self-actualizing values: existentiality, response to emotion, spontaneity, self-regard and acceptance, synergy, and capacity for intimacy. Shostrom originated this scale and was able to detect changes in scores as a consequence of therapy. This seems to be a fine measure of general mental health. According to this scale, self-actualization is also associated to superior spirituality. Married couples who score high on this scale also account for greater sexual enjoyment. The POI seems to be relatively resistant to faking, except if one is familiar with Maslow's portrayal of a self-actualizing person. It has been noted that Sostrom's mentioned in the POI manual a number of studies in which the examinees were asked to fake good, construct a good favorable impression in filling out the inventory. When participants followed these directions, they normally scored lower than they did when they responded honestly to the statements. Maslow himself seemed to have responded to the questions honestly when he filled out the inventory. In spite of the fact that Maslow had helped in the construction of the POI, intriguingly his own scores were merely in the direction of self actualization, and not just about as high as the score of people who were undeniably self actualizing. It has been observed that scores on POI are higher in normal individuals as compared to clinical groups. People at the end of group therapy score more in contrast to what they had scored at the beginning. Individuals with lower depression and neuroticism on other tests. It is higher in people who have superior academic achievement, people with high creativity on other tests, persons who are autonomous on other tests. Despite the fact that the POI has established reasonable reliability and validity, few researchers have criticized the inventory for not able to differentiate between self-actualizers and non-self-actualizers. Moreover, POI has two more additional problems, which are: the first problem being that it is a lengthy inventory and approximately it takes around 30 to 45 minutes to complete it. Second problem of this inventory is related to the format, which is that the two items are forced choices and can cause resentment in the participants who experience dissatisfaction by the restriction of a forced choice format. To prevail over these two realistic problems, Alvin Jones and Rick Cradden came up with a short index of self-actualization, which could be considered as the second tool for assessing self-actualization. Even though it borrows 15 items from the POI, but these items are most powerfully correlated with the total self-actualizing items on the short index, which are on a 6-point Likert scale. Research on short index scale of self-actualization indicates that it is a valuable scale. John Sumrall and Charles Bundrick developed the third measure of self-actualization, which is known as the Brief Index of Self-Actualization. The original Brief Index of Self-Actualization consisted of 40 items which were placed on a 6-point Likert scale, and therefore gives the scores which ranges from 40 to 240. John Sumrall and Charles Bundrick revised the Brief Index of Self-Actualization through factor analysis yielded four factors of self-actualization, but because some items were placed in more than one factor, the author has to revise it by eliminating 8 items so that no single item was found on more than one factor. That is, the factors were not repeated again. This inventory gives us four factors which are stated as core self-actualization or the full use of one's potentials, autonomy, openness to experience, and comfort with solitude. The items on this measure are, for instance, I enjoy my achievements for core self-actualization. I fear that I will not live up to my potential, a reserved score item measuring autonomy. I am sensitive to the needs of others, openness to experience, and I enjoy my solitude. Comfort with solitude comprises this scale. The limitation of this measure is that till now the authors have not been able to establish completely the reliability, validity, and effectiveness of the brief index scale of self actualization. empirical studies of self-actualization, as it has been observed in earlier modules that one of the techniques for assessing self-actualization is to study people's peak experiences, which can be understood as moments of ecstatic happiness when people feel most real and alive. In 1962, Maslow interviewed quite a number of individuals. A lot of them were doing well in their preferred area. Maslow's findings were established that at such moments the human being is concerned with being and is totally obvious of any deficiency needs the probable reactions of others. Mihaly in 1975 interviewed an extensive range of outstanding sportsmen and found that their experiences were similar to those which were observed by Maslow. He had found out and reported that such individuals experienced aesthetically, and such kind of experiences cannot be planned by any individual consciously. For many, the growth of humanistic psychology is approximately identical with deliberate attempts to enhance personal growth through encounter groups and other short, intensive group experiences. No matter what the empirical support is for Maslow's theory, there is no denying that his theory represents a significant counterbalance to the nomothetic approach of Cattell's and Ising by attempting to capture the richness of the personal experience of being human. Inherent in Maslow's theory of self-actualization is the postulation that psychologically healthy individuals turn out to be more self-actualizing as they grow older as compared to those who are not psychologically healthy. In recent times, a study was undertaken by Jack Boer and Dan McAdams which confirmed this hypothesis by the means of conducting research on the college students and middle-aged and older community volunteers or participants. They used the method known for evaluating two kinds of growth, extrinsic and intrinsic. External growth comprises of traits like an interest in money, fame and physical appearance, although intrinsic growth focuses or centers on happiness and healthy interpersonal relations. As hypothesized, Brewer and McAdams established that older participants had advanced intrinsic goals while college students reported higher need for extrinsic goals. The Personal Orientation Inventory (POI) has been extensively researched and has been used for correlational research studies in which personal orientation inventory scores are correlated with other measures of behavior and personality. It has been observed that the scores signifying higher self-actualization has been positively related to several other factors which has been highlighted by Maslow and are emotional health, creativity, well-being following therapy, academic achievement, autonomy and racial tolerance. On the other hand, other studies indicating negative correlation between mental disturbances, neurosis, depression and hypochondriasis. These results are in the expected directions that were based on Maslow's description of self-actualizers. Research has also been undertaken to verify the need hierarchy theory, but facts time and again flies in the face of Maslow's hierarchy, as it has been reported that even individuals in prison camps demonstrate concern for others even though their own needs are not being met. Similarly, people in poverty still gives what they can to their children, sacrificing their own needs. At the other end, people commit suicide even when basic needs are met. And starving people will abstain from cannibalizing a dead compatriot in spite of their great physical need. Research has also been conducted to test the general assumption that lower needs must be fulfilled before the higher needs of self-actualization is attained. Aronoff verified this assumption by studying fishermen and can cutters in the British West Indies. This were undertaken by comparing the two. It was observed that fishermen worked independently and normally earned more than can cutters who worked in groups and were paid on the basis of the amount of can cut by the entire group. Can cutting was a more secure job because the rewards were consistent in relation to the fishermen, and in addition can cutters were even paid when they were unwell. It seems to follow from Maslow's theory that it would be largely those whose security and esteem needs were met who would choose the more stimulating and responsible job of fisherman. As anticipated from Maslow's theory, only 25% of the fishermen had a high need for security or safety against 80% of the can cutters. In addition, 80% of the fishermen had high self-esteem, but only 20% of the can cutters. Thus, it can be seen from the above research as lot of studies were undertaken to verify the concepts which were established by Maslow. Therefore, we can conclude that Maslow's work continues to have an impact on other domains also, like the study of religion, education and business. His long out of print classic book on business, Utopian Management, has been published again as Maslow on Management. Other most important works of Maslow have been reprinted again as well. Even a new biography details concerning Maslow's life, and also it summarizes his thinking. Maslow's challenge to traditional science. Even though there have existed several attention-grabbing scientific tests, for instance, such as the effect of prayer on physical recovery from illness, it was assumed by Maslow that he was unable to understand that how traditional scientific approach may possibly actually explore and validate humanistic approach. Nevertheless, few scientists have faulted Maslow of being blinded by his own values, even to the point of describing self-actualization in terms of his own value system. The values characterized in the need hierarchy have also been proposed to be more related to the Western values, and therefore it is not appropriate to other cultures. Indeed, more communal cultures discover self-actualization in sacrifice for the common good, not for individual interest. On other hand, some theorists consider that this theory is one of the most positive and life-affirming ideas ever suggested within psychology. Remarkably, Maslow suggested that his theory of human motivation would make individuals not as much predictable as they unvarying their life paths characteristically not in line with others' expectations. This is not the method of science as it tries to understand individuals as a measure of a theoretical perspective or paradigm.
Now let us summarize this module. Maslow's effort on self-actualization did not originate as a prescribed program of temperament assessment, but it was the result of exploration. Maslow used variation of procedures to measure their dispositions. He investigated the biography material, scrutinizing inscribed archives for resemblances in personal traits for historic personalities. Whereas in case of the living research participants, he considered them using the means of interviews, free association as well as projective techniques. Maslow as well as his wife developed the Maslow art test to evaluate holistic aspects in perception, comprising instinct also. This not based on any kind of intervention related to art, nevertheless is used to comprehend basic capacity to recognize designs within abstract workings. Many psychological studies have verified his theory and assumptions empirically. The Personal Orientation Inventory, a self-report questionnaire, was originated by psychologist Everett Shostrom to measure self-actualization. The test comprises of a 150 pair of forced choice inventory that measures a variation of self-actualization features. Research participants specify which of each pair is more appropriate to them. The POI is scored for 2 most important scales as well as 10 subscales. The 2 key scales are time competence as well as inner directedness. According to this scale, self-actualization is also associated to superior spirituality. The POI appears to be relatively resilient to falsifying except if one is aware of Maslow's portrayal of self-actualizing individual. In spite of the fact that Maslow had assisted in the creation of the POI, intriguingly his own marks remained merely in the course of self-actualization. Despite the fact that the POI has established a certain amount of reliability as well as validity, few researchers have condemned the inventory for not able to differentiate amidst actualizers as well as non-actualizers. Later, Shostrom's development of personal orientation dimensions, which also was used to tap dimensions of self-actualization. To prevail over these two realistic problems, Alvin Jones and Rick Crandall 1986 came up with a short index of self-actualization, which could be considered as the second tool for assessing self-actualization. Even though it uses 15 items from the POI, but these items are to the maximum related with the overall self-actualizing items on the short index, which are based on the method of Likert scale. John Summerlin as well as Charles Bundrick 1996-1998 developed another assessment of actualization, which is referred to as the Brief Index of Self-Actualization. Csikszentmihalyi 1975 interviewed an extensive range of outstanding sportsmen and found that they experienced similar or comparable to those which were observed by Maslow. Research has also been conducted to test the general supposition stating lower needs must be satisfied in advance, then only upper needs of actualization is attained. Research by Aronoff 1967 has also been conducted to test the general supposition stating lower needs must be satisfied in advance, then only upper needs of actualization are attained. No matter what the experimental backing is there or if not for Maslow's concept, there is no denying that his theory suggests a significant equalizer to the nomothetic methodologies.